It worked.
Whoa, it worked tonight. It went live. Yay. So, hello. If you're joining us tonight, make sure you say hi. We have a special guest tonight. We have Miss Pat O'Keefe from the Sisterhood of Magic and Wonder. She is going to be at our market this weekend. And she's also one of the mediums that is going to be in the gallery reading that we have that we've been selling tickets for. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, get them now. Very limited space. So, hi, Lori. Hi, Susan. I don't know, Pat, if you can see. Can you see the comments? If you can't, I'll share them on the screen.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay. I will show them on the screen then. So then you'll be able to see them.
Right.
We also have Miss Misty that'll be joining us at about 8. She has something going on. She will join us after. We've got a bunch of people saying hi. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. So, Melissa. I don't feel like we've seen her in a while. Hi, Melissa.
Where have you been, Melissa?
Yeah, we haven't seen you in a while. Blurb time, like shameless plug time. Hi, Tammy. Wow, why do I sound so weird tonight? Why?
She said hi.
So this weekend, Sacred Journey Market as at the Holiday Inn and Suites Eastgate, Cincinnati. This lovely lady's going to be there. You need to come see her. You're doing readings, aren't you, Pat?
Yes, actually, all of us will be doing readings there. We'll be doing individual readings as well as the gallery reading. We try to kind of limit a mediumship to the gallery because that's the focus of that. So we'll be doing everything. I mean, you can take one look at me. I've been at this since I was about 13 years old, and actually started about 7 years old because my grandmother was, she was she was born in 1910, and as we know, that was the end of the Victorian era, but still, in the hollers of Appalachia, it wasn't uncommon to find a spirit board, and so that was my grandmother's tool, and I grew up on reading, Wonders of the World. I mean, when I was 13 years old, yes, I know it's kind of verboten, but I was reading The Black Arts by Richard Cavendish, which I know is a little dark and also a little advanced, but I was interested in all of these things, and so was my grandmother and my mother. And my mother was a palmist, very gifted palmist, and so I grew up around that, and I took that all the way through. So it's been, many years. I'm now over 60. Yeah. But, I don't complain because there's only two paths that you can take on that particular line. And that is you're either still in this corporeal world in this lifetime, or you have already crossed. So, but my point is, as far as tools, we can use anything from tarot cards. We have a tasseographer, which is a tea reader. She won't be doing that this weekend, but that's one of the things that she does. We do use pendulums. I mean, just name it. Runes, witches' runes, the Nordic runes. I mean, just a plethora of tools. What we usually keep it to, though, in our public readings like this is tarot. I am a spirit guided reader, which means I always go to spirit to see if there's any messages, and I am guided by an angelic presence. So I always go to that spirit first to see if there's any messages, and then I may go to the cards, for specific details. And I always tell people I can be wrong. And if any reader tells you that they're 100%, I can tell you I've been doing this for almost, over around 50 years.
Yeah, you don't have to say how long. A long time.
You know what I'm saying? And so we get very comfortable with the symbology that we are comfortable with, or sometimes it's what I call a 360. I'm an astral projector, so I'll be projected into time and space, and I'm taking all of this information in. Sometimes it may be a whisper, right? Sometimes you get visions. I mean, there's so many different ways that you're getting messages for individuals. But I think people are going to enjoy it. I know we are. And thank you so much for inviting us. I'm thrilled. This is my first year. I've heard so many good things. I really have, from the Connor sisters. So I'm excited to be going myself.
We have a good time. We act like fools, but we have a good time. And honestly, we've been doing markets for, not our own markets, working at markets and selling stuff and doing readings and stuff. How long have you been doing them?
8 years.
She's been doing it longer than me. But honestly, the energy there is always good. We've been very lucky with the readers and the vendors that we get that have signed up, and it meshes so well, and I just enjoy it so much. It's honestly, we're kind of selfish. We do it for the energy, so we can have a good weekend just to absorb all that and be around like-minded people. It's fun. Mm-hmm. We have a good time.
We're with our tribe.
Right, exactly. We enjoy it. In the grand scheme of things, we're very new at this. That we are very we're babies in the in the whole event planning. This is our fourth one, and so we're still new at it. We're still learning things, and we're still changing a little bit every time that we do it. So, but honestly, from the get-go, we've been very lucky that it's just been a really great group of people that we've had over and over. And we keep the same people on some of them, and then we get we get
new people every
time. A half and half. About half of them are regulars, and then half of them are new people. So it's nice to meet the new people and build our little community that we've enjoyed so much. Now, you'll have 1 or 2 books. I know you have one coming. But
right. We actually have one that's published. This is there we go. Spells of the Sisterhood of Magic and Wonders, and it's one of the most common questions we get asked. Thank you. Yes. One of the most common questions we get asked is, what is our background? And so that answers that. We talk about our heritage, because, as we know, a lot of gifts are handed down through the bloodline. And so we talk about that. And also at the back of the book, we have 20 of our favorite spells that we have cast and that, we've been able to manifest. So we've added that in also for folks. One of them is a love spell, and it was actually mine. I know, the oldest one of the bunch. But I was actually divorced when I was 56. And 53, I'm sorry. 53 after 28 years of marriage. And I went into what I call the wilderness for 3 years, right? To just balance myself. And at the end of 3 years, I did this spell / prayer. And 2 weeks later, true story, my husband manifested, and he was actually from Arizona by way of Los Angeles, if you can believe that. And he had moved to Boone, North Carolina, where I live right now. And we've been together ever since. So, and let me tell you, ladies, I had just read this article that said, you stand a better chance of getting struck by lightning than finding love after the age of 50. And I'm like, what? So
that's a lie.
I don't believe that.
That is a true, I am not kidding you. I read that. And I'm like, I refuse to believe this. I know that there's somebody for everyone out there, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I did the spell work, of course, I asked for the person that was supposed to be in my life, the one that would, complete me and be right for my energy. So that's what I asked for, and that's what I got. And we've been together since that first date onward.
She manifested that shit.
Yes, she manifested that shit.
I did, and anyone can. It's in the way that we ask. If we ask from the heart, whether you're a Christian and it's prayer, whether you're, a witch like myself and it's through spell work, because that too is a prayer. If you come at things from a very humble place in your heart, from the heart chakra, I really feel that we can manifest so much more. We worry about this all the time, right?
Mhm.
Our third eye, when we talk about magic and psychic abilities, and so much of it really comes from the heart. The Egyptians thought the brains, as you know, they were just in the way. They scrambled them up and jerked them out your nose. I mean, they threw them away. It was just like boom. But the heart was treated in a very respectful, sacred way, and put into a special canoptic jar. And they thought that the heart was the seat of the soul. So, very powerful. We forget this, working with this, this is beautiful, and it is about psychic ability. But when we're talking about manifestation, I truly feel that we need to focus on two places, the heart and the crown chakra, because the crown chakra is, of course, where God's energy flows into us.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that.
We're just like, tell us.
I'll let you talk.
I love you girls. I swear, y'all have the best energy. You really do.
We love y'all. I mean,
Yes.
just meeting y'all has been great. We love everything about you. And hey, everybody that's hopping on, sorry, we got a little engrossed in listening, so we forgot to say hi.
Can I do a shout out to one friend? I mean, she is so special. She's actually coming from her home with a friend to Cincinnati to go to the gallery reading, also the event, and that's Lori Yaney. Just call out to you, Lori. Love you to death, and glad that you and your friend are getting to attend.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What else do y'all have? A documentary that's on Amazon
loved
Prime.
it.
The documentary?
Yes.
Yeah.
What else is it on? It's not just on Amazon Prime. It's on some other places, isn't it?
Yes, it's actually in a number of places right now. You know how it is. You start with one place that was Amazon Prime, then it was on what do they call it? Vimeo.
Mm-hmm.
And then Horrormax. I don't know. There's a number. It's on Roku. So it's kind of expanding, and we've gotten a lot of good, reviews and feedback on it. And I have to give credit, a lot of credit, not only to the girls, and by the girls I mean Ashley Connor, Misty Connor, and of course Rhonda Caudell. The other members of the Sisterhood of Magic and Wonders, but also Jerry Sword really looked at the subject matter. And one of the things that I was worried about is how it would be treated, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can go so many ways with this idea of witchcraft and witches, but he really took a lot of time, I think, between he and Terrell. Terrell Lee is the cinematographer, brilliant. He's actually in film school. He's graduating, a young man that has so much in front of him. I mean, how many people can say that for their project, they actually have a documentary that's playing in theaters, right?
Right.
And yeah, I know, right? I mean, I'm just really proud of him and Jerry both, but also proud of the fact that they handled the material with respect. Because for those of us who follow any of these paths, right, that one might be called a witch or Wiccan. I'm a witch. I truly feel I was born this way, and I was born around people that accepted that there was so much more to divine energy than what we could put into a box, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I remember my grandmother telling me that, we created God in our image, and that we needed to release that idea because God could not be put into a box, by us, because who we are as a spirit is one spirit, and it's very, very tiny. We are a spark of God. So she was, you can tell my upbringing was probably, it would be called unusual in, by many people's standards, but one that I would not trade for anything.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But yes, let me recommend, if you haven't seen Season of the Witch, see it. And if you haven't bought your tickets, we are excited. I promise you, we always get great reviews from our, and I'm knocking on wood because you know how this is. You brag on yourself, you could get in trouble. But we always get great reviews for our gallery readings, and we hope to see you there. Folks out there, and also tell your friends about it. I mean, not just a gallery reading, but this event. Like I said, I have heard about this well before, I found out that I was invited to it this year. I mean, you guys might be new at it, but you must be doing a bang up job because people say very, very kind things about you all.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate that. We couldn't do it without all the amazing people that we have there.
Oh, no.
And we enjoy doing it. As far as the gallery reading, if you buy tickets to the gallery reading, you get into the market for free that day. So you don't have to pay the $10 to get into the market that day. You're literally just paying for your gallery reading. You'll get a band for the market that day. So you can go to the gallery reading, which is going to be amazing. And then you can go and shop and get readings and all that stuff with the vendors. And it is very limited space. I think we limited it to about 20, just so that y'all would not be overwhelmed with a bunch of people. And so if you haven't got your tickets, you need to go ahead and get them. We will sell any remainders at the door, but there's no guarantee that we will have any left by then. So,
one thing we might want to, just consider for next year. One of the things that we do is, since you were limited to 20, you said? Okay. We also do old-fashioned Victorian style seances. And yes, love them. Yeah, see, I knew you guys would love that. And you can make it a nighttime event if you want. I mean, you can make it fancy, you can make it casual, however you would want to do it. But we do those. And one of the things that's different about Victorian, in fact, the thing, a couple things. Number one is that Victorian mediums channeled, right? That's what they did. They would sit at the table, and then they would, they would either project, remember, into the giant horns that would be on the table, or the horn would be floating above the table, and voices, disembodied voices. Well, it's not quite like that, but we do allow spirit to channel. So I always tell spirit, like one time, just an example, one time I was doing this, and I kept doing this the entire time I was talking to a woman. And she said, well, she died of throat cancer. You see what I'm saying? Because you're letting the spirit, like, not take over your body, but share your energy for a short period of time. One time I was doing this. I had no idea I was doing it. And she looked at me and she said, Pat, you do realize he was a concert pianist. I had no idea. Not only that, I had no idea what my hands were doing. One time, like when the spirit really, when you get a strong spirit that wants to communicate, that's a whole different ball of wax. One time, now think about this. I was in my 50s then, and all of a sudden they said I reared back and I started giving gang symbols. I kid you not. Now I'm not even aware of what my body's doing. And then all of a sudden I stand up and this poor woman is like 2 people over. My hands go right in front of her. I'll look into her eyes and I say, you biatch. And that is not, as you can probably tell, my normal approach to people.
Oh, come on, I'm sure you do that all the time.
Let me tell you what happened. What had happened, and I told her, I said, I saw you in front of my coffin. I saw you making fun of me. I saw you laughing about me. And all of a sudden, she looks at me and her eyes are huge. And they tell me all this later because you have to understand when you're sharing that strong of an energy, it's like you're with it, but you're how do I put it? their energy at that point is a little stronger than yours. You see what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
can't hold on to it for very long, but for those minutes. And so what had happened, in fact, when I finished, I said, I cannot believe that bitch killed me. Well, what had happened? She said, that's my brother. And she's right. You know, I was sitting there making fun of him. They were estranged, right? And listen to this. His girlfriend gave him a hot needle. That's how he died. And yes, he did this. He was in the gang scene. So that's what I'm saying about, you know, channeling is a different, but for the Victorians, it was very, very common. Another commonality in, you know, or I should say difference rather, between what we do now, what we're used to now and the Victorians is physical mediumship. Like there are people, and there are still people today in the spiritualist community in places like New York City, and they can actually cry. And when they cry, they can actually bring pins out of the eyes, like the old hat pins. Now, I have never seen this. I don't live in New York, but I have a friend who is a spiritualist and was in that scene. And he was telling me about some of the things that he had seen. And when I read about Victorian mediumship and, you know, the physical mediums in particular, they could do some things. Daniel Douglas Hume was a medium, and he was reported to actually stretch himself to 7 feet tall and also levitate in front of you know, an audience. So, you know, was it hypnosis where he hopped and they said levitation? We'll never know. But I will tell you one thing. Houdini, who hated all mediums and all psychics, said very publicly that he would emulate everything that Daniel Douglas Hume did, but he never did.
Oh, wow.
Never in public.
And
so I found that interesting.
And now we have a Misty on here too.
Hello.
We're just letting Pat talk.
Yeah, we're just sitting here.
You look good, Misty.
I'm trying to rest, Pat. I'm serious. I got a little bit of vacation and I was like, man, I love it. And I went on Facebook for like a minute today and was already like, nope, I gotta log back off. Facebook gets crazy, y'all. And if you're spiritual people, y'all know how it is. You get drained just looking at it. And it's like, as I'm scrolling through, I can see all this competition and I can see all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, is not everybody feeling the heaviness of this? I don't know. Maybe it's my age, y'all. Shit, I don't know.
No, social media is crazy. It's a necessary evil, but it's crazy.
Yes.
Isn't it though? And I try to stay away from it. I love TikTok because I can get lost, y'all.
Oh, yeah, you go down the rabbit hole.
Oh my gosh. I know every conspiracy theory from here to there. I'm telling you.
I think I sit on TikTok and watch dumb animal videos.
I love those.
I do too. That's like the other stuff and cooking. And then there's the guy that cooks all the old recipes from like the 50s and stuff like that. I love him.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And so I watch stupid stuff on TikTok. I don't watch.
We have our Gregisms.
You have your what?
Gregisms.
No, I haven't heard of
you to find your joy. And I die Greg.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Bridget said yes, the recipe guy. I love him so much. Just because I love to see some of the recipes, I'm like, ooh, I want to try that. And he's got a cookbook coming out. Oh, and we lost her. She'll be back.
We lost her. She'll be back.
She got excited and hit a button.
Oh yeah.
I need to mention to her the seance thing too.
Yes,
we're actually going to be doing one at the Exchange Hotel on the 25th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Surprise.
We were talking about how we should have done a Victorian seance at one of our events.
Yes. Oh my God, please. Yes.
Stephanie is on here, Mandy, and she's feeling me, so it's okay.
What?
Stephanie's on here. She's feeling me. She knows where I'm going with that.
What's that? Okay. I'm trying to catch up. There's messages. Everybody saying hi and yes, I want to do one.
Let me tell you something. That's how I got kicked off here. I tried to look at the comments and I was like, boom, and I was like, oh
Whoopsie.
I know. I'm gonna keep myself right here. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, so I'll put them up on the screen as I see them. Wow, Missy, I just had a brain fart. My brain just went dumb. It just went dumb.
I have brain fog.
Pat, you are with 3 M's. We got Mimi, Missy, and Misty here.
Oh
Pat,
my
you're the
gosh. Yeah.
Sorry.
And 1 P.
I know.
We're excited that we're going to have more of y'all with us this time.
Mm-hmm. You
It's
are.
gonna be fun. It's going to be fun.
I was solo last year, and this year we got Pat, we got Ashley, we of course Amanda goes with. I don't know what we do without her.
Yeah.
And then we got Rhonda that's come. Well, we hope that Rhonda is going to make it with us. So we got so many people that are coming, and we're excited for everybody to meet and just enjoy the camaraderie. Plus, I mean, the gallery reading is, if you haven't had one, they're awesome. I'm just saying, I love them because I get to watch them work too. Like I work, and then when my time's done, it's like passing baton, right? And then they do theirs, and the reactions of people are amazing. That's what I like. I'm like, they're, you know, from the crying to the smiling to the laughing, it's amazing to watch.
I'm trying to put comments as they come up there.
Floyd County, Kentucky. Hi, Taffy.
Mm-hmm. I actually got confused last year because some lady was talking about Floyd County, and my family's from Floyd County, but in Virginia, we had the same stories. And then at the end, I realized we were in 2 different states, but the stories still matched up.
Oh, in your seminar?
Yes, it was amazing, man.
I enjoyed that so much. I love listening to stories.
She said that was her.
Yep.
She's on there.
She said it was her.
See, there we go.
Oh, goodness. Bridget, you need to go to the gallery reading. She said she's never done a gallery reading. Bridget is she comes to all of our events. Mm-hmm. We love her. She has the cutest daughter.
She brings her daughter to everyone. She
brings her daughter and her husband. They all come and they get readings and shop, and they come to everything. So they're great.
Well, last year when I got to come, I mean, it was a good camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was just, it was just a good energy. But y'all put me in a sweet spot, though. I was between Ken Boggle and
Ken's not going to be there this time, but you're in the same spot. But we got you somebody.
But you're in a sweet spot still.
Okay,
you're still in a sweet spot.
Pat, you'll love it.
So you'll have the spirit mechanics on one side of you again. And then the other side, you'll have Seneca. You're going to love him.
Okay.
You're going to love him.
Great. He gets the best hugs.
Oh, yeah, he does. He's great. He wasn't able to come to the last one, so we're excited he's coming back.
Well, hello.
Apparently the cat decided it was time to...
I had to throw all my cats out. They wanted to be all in here. And I was like, y'all will be all up on me. I got to throw y'all out.
He has to stop in and say, he says, hey, he's become the live cat. He comes by and he says hi, and then he walks away. He's good.
That's good. He knows his place.
Oh, Bridget, we are thankful for you. We love having y'all there.
No.
I'm going through the...
Shelly said, hell no, I can't watch her do. I'm going to be in the reading too.
Aww.
I think we're going to have people fighting to go. Actually, we actually have somebody
close
to
the
watch
doors.
We have somebody to work the doors, so we might be able to actually go.
You should come. Yes, you should come watch it. Like, Pat, did you get to share any stories of our of any of the gallery readings we've done before?
Well, I mean, I talked about just kind of a little bit about my background, that sort of thing, and a little bit about us and what we were doing. But you go ahead. You go, girl.
It's your turn.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if it's okay, if we could share one of our most memorable moments doing gallery readings.
Oh, absolutely.
I think mine would have to be, I have 2. One, and this was when we first started, so these are a little bit different. And we've had some great ones on the road, don't get me wrong, but these, I guess I realized the power of a gallery reading. This one lady, now we had a full room. And this one lady was like, her spirits kept telling on her. And y'all know how that is. A spirit will tell on them. And when they're sitting there talking to you, their spirit will be like, this ain't right. So I was talking to them and they were like, well, all I kept hearing was, we're not like what she has. We're not like what she has. And I thought, man, this is weird, but you give them what you got. And I said, all the spirits in your house are saying they're not like what you got. And she's like, well, I understand that. And she's like, because I have a voodoo doll from Katrina. And I'm going to tell you, this is like one of the first gallery readings we were ever in, right? And it was a packed room and it parted. Every like middle-aged housewife that had ever came all of a sudden was like, oh, a voodoo doll. And the woman was like, I have her with me. And I'm like, and it was just red alert. Like all of her spirits were like, no. And then she was like, can I go get it? And I said, sure, let me take a look at this. She brings this voodoo doll in and it is ridiculous. Come to find out, it had went through 3 families and all people had died. And for some reason it had made it out of Katrina. This woman had it and it was like some weird connection she had. And she had been feeding it, she said. But it was like every time she didn't do what it wanted, then it would attack her mate. And it was crazy. Long story short, these people ended up in jail. And I'm not joking. And I wonder where this voodoo doll went to this day. And people don't understand when they get into that kind of stuff. If you're feeding it and you stop, well, there's going to be recourse. It was crazy. And that's when I realized spirits, there's different spirits. And if you're on this side and you go to the other side and they're doing shitty stuff, they're going to tell on y'all guys. That's the number one thing. Not that voodoo dolls are bad, but this whole family was weird, man. It was not that I'm judging them, but they did end up going to jail for some really, really crazy charges.
Voodoo doll.
Thank you. And it was weird. Every time she would be like, I'm not going to do anything, her partner would be like, oh, I got a pain. It was the weirdest thing, man. So then my second one would be how your spirit guides really work with you. I had a couple that came in, and you know how when one walks in and you could just, your spirit guides are like, ding, ding, ding. Let's not read for that one. Everything in you is just like, let's not read for it. So he wanted a reading, and because he asked for a question, and I was like, dude, I don't want to dive in, but here we go. And by the end, he was crying. I was crying. We were all crying. Come to find out, it was just stuff like, it was a truck involved. He had a younger brother. This is all the stuff I was getting. It wasn't your fault. All of a sudden he starts dying, crying. I knew nothing about this man before he sat down. And he said that it was his brother had died in a truck accident, bringing him money to put on his books at jail. And this whole story, I was getting the other emotions, like his brother was trying to say, it's okay, go live your life. I understand about the truck. It wasn't your fault. And he had been holding on to that forever. When I got off the stage, that man wanted to hug me so hard. And I was just like, you know what? This is why we do what we do. That man was holding on to that. And he had held it forever. Let me tell you, he changed his life. He didn't go back to jail. He got his shit together. And I was because he had held that and knew his grief was from that. But these are some of the things that could come across, and they're really, really fascinating. So Pat, you tell yours, ma'am.
Well, I'll do a couple. First one, I was telling you about channeling, and we all do that when we're doing a seance. We're really pulling that energy in. But I'm also an astral projector, which means I know, but what can I say? When you live it, you just got to say it. I go and I connect with energy, and I'm shown things. It's like I'm pulled somewhere else. I call it the other world. But one time, this was actually in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. I was doing public readings, and this beautiful, Eastern Cherokee Nation lady came, and she got a reading. She said, I want you to read for my brother. And so she went to get her brother, and she brought him and set him down. And all of a sudden, I was somewhere else, and I was inside a trailer. I saw this trailer. I saw 2 like man chairs, you know what I'm saying, well-worn recliners in front of a TV. And I saw 2 men standing there, and one was in front of the other. And he had long hair. It was braided. He told me, he said, I am his grandfather. I was a shaman for our nation. And he said, I have a message for you to give him. And then he spoke Cherokee. I don't know Cherokee. So I listened and I said, you have to repeat this several times. And so he did. And as soon as I came back, I looked at him and I told him, I said, this young man, I said, listen to the words of your grandfather. And I said what grandfather said. And he started bawling. And I looked at his sister and I said, does this mean something to him? And she said, yes, it does. And I told him, I said, your grandfather is telling you that you are to walk the honorable path, that you are to walk the path of your people, the one that he led as a spiritual leader. You are being led astray by your father's energy. Your father is not who you want to become. And the crying. So do you know that woman the next day, we talked about changing lives. She drove back the next day to come in and tell me, she said, I want you to know that you changed my brother's life with that message. She said, he was going down the road of my father, our father, who is dead, and he was an alcoholic. And he was a cruel man. And, you know, he's the one that turned his back on his nation and the culture of his people. And what you told him has brought him back to us. And that is powerful stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you one more story, and then just one more real quick one, because I've been at this a long time. Anyway,
I know. We're like, okay.
This is funny. Okay, here I am. I'm giving a gallery reading. It's at the Star Museum in Abingdon, Virginia. And this little girl says, to me, little girl, I'm old. She's a young lady. And she says, what am I going to do? What should I do? And I heard 911, may I help you? And I looked at her and I said, you're going to be a 911 operator. I said, but you're going to be more than that. You're going to be more than that. I said, you're going to be a cop. And if you travel this path, you will be a detective. You will reach your goals. And she said, that's exactly what I wanted to do. She said, I've got an interview for a 911 operator, like in 2 weeks, a week, something like that. I forget, so many years. And so fast forward from that night, a couple of years, and I get a phone call, and it's this lovely woman. She says, I want a reading. And I said, all righty. And we set a time. Well, I started seeing a cop badge, like right in front of me. And I'm like, oh my God, is it Bunko? Yeah. Am I going to get arrested? Holy hell. And so I'm like sweating, you know, what in the world? I'm too old to go to jail. So I opened the door, and there's this lovely young woman. And she's got right here, she's got, Virginia State Police.
Oh, God.
It's a T-shirt with a badge, right? Mm. And I looked at her, and then it dawned on me who she was. And I'm like, oh, she said, Pat, she said, I made it. She said, I'm on the path that you said I would be on. So, you know, that was a good moment. But see what I'm saying? We don't know all the answers. Sometimes you just get a piece like that badge that just kept flying in front of me. I had no idea what it meant. And then just one more. And both of us could go on all night, but I'll do one quick one. There was this, I was doing a gallery reading. I think it was in Bristol or Abingdon. And there was this lovely woman and her sister. Her name was Nancy Lewis. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I connect with her sister. So there was three, right? Nancy, her sister, and the one that passed. And I said, you have a sister that's on the other side. And I said, she's telling me that she was laying in bed and she tried to grab the phone, and she wasn't able to do that. You know, she literally, you know, died reaching for the phone. Wow. And they said, yes, you know, that's exactly how she passed. But then I looked at them and I said, for some reason, she's telling me to tell you Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy. Okay? Now, I know, but I've learned, and so has Misty over the years, you just tell it as you get it. All of a sudden, the other sister looks at her and she says, she's really here, isn't she? Meaning, you know, the sister who had passed. Nancy got in touch with me after the reading. She said, Pat, I want you to know, I remember where this was now. It was at the Star Museum. He had a Miss Piggy in the background. She said that when we were talking and I said, Miss Piggy, she said there was a light that just streamed down on Miss Piggy. Why Miss Piggy was important is that was her nickname. That's what the girls called her, little Miss Piggy. It was just a sister thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, things like that. I'm telling you, there are powerful moments, and we heal people, and we connect people with energy where they have peace of mind and they know that their loved one is loved, is full of joy, is going to be there in many, many cases when they themselves cross over. It expands the mind. We go back to where my grandmother said, the mind is such a little box, and God and this energy is well beyond that. So anyway, that's what we do. And we're proud of it, aren't we, Misty? And you are too, by the way. People who do this work.
Stories all day. And I think everybody else, it got like really quiet on the side. They're still watching. They're really quiet. They're all probably sitting like this. Listen. See, this is why y'all need to get y'all's gallery reading tickets.
Yes.
Now my dog's trying to come here. Yes. So, Shelly said, exactly. They are. They're all sitting there going, oh my gosh. Well, dang it. Sorry. I'm having issues clicking buttons.
Lori. We've really been blessed to be on the road, to be able to do this, to be able to, like when you're up there and you feel all that energy coming towards you, or you're doing seances, like it's just intense, and it's cool though. And you make these like connections that you never would have made before. And you just find yourself in the right places, what is this? Eating chicken a day. Lord, look at it. I love it, man.
Yeah, because as soon as you stopped your stories, it started flying through again. See, they were all engrossed into what y'all were saying.
Some of the fun things that we've had happen on the road is just like being able to share our stories of in the mountains, but also like, I don't know, just the camaraderie, but being able to show people a little bit of our history, where we come from, and then to be able to like connect with these people, like walking into like on our end of it, it's this. Well, it is me, Pat. So if it's a little bit different for you, you could chime in. But I walk into a room not knowing a single person in there. And I center myself. Actually normally gets us going with just calming everybody. And then it's almost like ding, 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 ding. And then they all just start talking, or they try to make that connection. And I'm giving details, or Pat's giving details, or Ashley is giving details that there's no way we could have known walking into that. And that's the proof in the pudding for me with what we do. It's so cool because we can describe their. Also, let me tell you about just the ancestor part of it that is so tricky. Like Pat said, they give us messages and we deliver, right? So I had this lady, we just did one at, where did we do, Pat? Alton, Illinois, for Troy Taylor. He had like a big event there. And there was a lady, and her mother was definitely with her, and I saw this beam of light almost like coming through a Star Trek, and the mother's like, oh, I was with her when she was sick, I was this, I was that, and just doting and amazing. And the woman just looked and she said, okay. And then at the end, she comes over and she says, ma'am, I don't think that was my mother. And I said, okay, well, why don't you think that? And she's like, I said, well, let me explain to you what I saw. And I said, it was a beam like Star Trek. She said, that's her favorite movie. And I said, okay, that's how she came. She said, but she was not the perfect woman. She was the one who got me sick. And it was so weird because the message wanted to come across as she was such the hero of the situation. And I told her that. I said, no, ma'am, she's saying she's the hero. And she said, yes, she did all my life, put me in therapy, and I about killed myself for this reason. And still on the other side, this spirit would not let go of that she was the one that was the hero, and the daughter was the one that she was saving. The woman was just messed up. The girl goes on to say that the rest of her life she's been in treatments, this and that and other, because of what her mother's done to her. People think that when they go on to the other side, if they've excelled, yeah, they see their ways. But if, like Ashley says, if they're assholes on this side, they're still assholes on that side. And sometimes that's what comes through. And the woman had spent all of her life trying to break those bonds. And it was like her mother was still there with her no matter what. She wanted her narrative to be told. So it was kind of a sticky situation. But I just, you try to give them as much compassion and, things like that you can. It's really crazy how it comes off. What you had some cool experiences at Alton, didn't you, Pat?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Alton to a point. Again, I'll be honest with you, I'm also a consultant. I don't know why I have to be honest, but anyway, consulting hypnotist through the National Guild of Hypnotists. That's where I got my training. And the reason I did that is because I see past lives. I know what my past life was because I saw it over, my death over and over and over as a child, right? And so one of my gifts is that, I can look at someone and often see their past life. And the reason I mention that is, I'm connected to the Victorian era, the late Victorian era, so much that I still channel, even in gallery readings. And when we were at Alton, I looked at this woman, and all of a sudden I'm feeling this pain, like excruciating pain. And it's called shadow death, okay. I'm in pain, and it's much more severe than normal, than I usually get, because I could tell that this was a spirit that was so excited to be able to communicate, right? That they threw everything they had at me. And so I was limping around, and Misty said, "Do you have a cramp?" I said, "This is bone cancer. I've felt it before." That's a good thing about having done this for so many years. So I'm talking to this woman, and she starts crying. It was actually her daughter, and it had moved into her bones, especially into the lower leg before she, right before she died, and she had been in a lot of pain. So it often works like that. So, yeah, I mean, we always enjoy Alton. It's another nice event that we enjoy going to. But I'm telling you, I'm really hyped about this one. I really, really am. I think we're going to have fun. It'd be fun hanging out with the people who are there. Oh, yeah. And by the way, Katie McCowan, it is Season of the Witch. The name of the documentary. I think you'll really enjoy it. I mean, we tell it from our perspective as, the story, if you will, of witchcraft from our perspective. And we are quick to say that. And that is of Appalachian witches. We have our own magic. We have our own, our own cryptids. We have our own tales. It was so geographically and still is isolated in places that we still speak in much like the old Scots, like tobacco instead of tobacco. My grandma would say tobacco. So there's you can see the roots of our Scots, Irish, and so many other nations in our speech, but particularly to Scots, Irish. I forget what the statistic is in the region of Tazewell County, Buchanan County, and those surrounding counties, but there are more redheads than I have ever seen, and that's because of the Scots Irish, lineage that people have. We have that. The Connors are from the Appalachian region. I'm from the Appalachian region, and Ron is too. So it's who we are. It's in our blood. And let me tell you something. If you haven't been in those mountains, you have no idea. And the reason I say that, I was from West Virginia. West Virginia is the only state that is 100% in the Appalachian Range. I mean, It's the Appalachian Mountains, but I mean, it's all Appalachia, okay? I'm just saying we were so geographically cut off that our family graveyard, the way that we get there is we have GPS coordinates. That's how we get, yes. And then you hike across 2 creeks, around a mountain, and then up a mountain. I mean, you can't bring a truck in there, 4-wheel drive. You might be able to bring a military Hummer up there, at least close enough, but you're not going all the way to the graveyard. Yeah.
You switching lighting on us, Misty?
I was like, what happened? My light bill got cut off, guys.
Oh.
I don't know.
Whoa, this is like the bar at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Last call. No,
Yeah. Last call.
We've had a few
break no matter what.
Hold on. I'm going to have to swing in here and try to plug my stuff up.
This right here says, okay, I need to chat with you. Saying I have so many questions. Help me understand things. That's our other sister. That's our youngest sister.
Y'all got another sister that's
one of us. And she doesn't look anything like us. She don't
got an M? What?
No, she's a B. She's a B. She's really a B. No, I'm just kidding. She will be there this weekend. She's the reason that we're going to be able to run around. Her and her fiance are going to help us run the door. We have got so many things on here. We have people asking questions. Let me see if I can go back and see. Do you all agree on the same type of afterlife, or do you all see it differently?
I mean, as compared to whom?
I had to go back a little bit.
That's a good question.
I don't know. We were brought up strictly Catholic when we grew up. So we were, and I think, Misty, we've talked about it before. The ceremonies are beautiful. We love the ceremony and everything like that. But, and while I like the ritual of it, I don't feel like I learned enough. And I'm one of those people that I want to know about everything. I want to know about all the different religions and learn all about that, because I feel like it's all the same to some certain degree. In my opinion, it's all the same. We just have a different representation of our higher power.
We got a scammer.
We have a scammer. Sweet.
Right now.
I knew we would get one.
Oh God, who is it?
Let's see.
We lean in.
Hey,
like
Raymond,
we can see 'em.
this person right here wants to send you light and energies that bring comfort for the heart and soul. And they want you to DM them for a reading.
Oh, I'm going to be on it, Raymond. Funny thing is,
Renee,
you might want to DM us.
You too.
Oh, there's another one. Renee, they're going after you too.
Renee.
This is fun. Where did all these come from, y'all? I don't even know what happened.
Okay, so I will tell you, I got really agitated today because we don't have them just like this. I think they're funny. I delete them, block them, and then move on.
Yeah.
They create 15 different Facebook profiles, so you can't do anything. They create a new one every time. But okay, I think I got it.
He's on a roll.
Oh, Melissa, she's after you now. Jesus.
Yep.
Lord, I love it. I love it, man.
But today I got aggravated because we have in the past, we had our last market, we had maybe it wasn't our last one, it might have been one before. Somebody came across as they were part of our market, and actually one of the vendors sent them money for a booth, and they were not. And it really frustrated me. So it was a big ordeal, and I felt so sorry for her. She ended up being one of our vendors anyway, so it worked out really well, and she's a regular vendor. But this time, after we had already closed applications, because we've been with a waiting list for a while.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So we had closed it, but I had posted something about the market, and somebody posted on there. I said, we still have space available. Message me. I'm like, no, we don't. But today, under my gallery reading post for y'all, somebody said, I have 4 tickets for sale. I said, no, you don't, because you didn't buy them from us.
Oh my gosh. They've done that to us on when we said, like this. I gotta what way I gotta
the opposite direction.
Right.
When we put stuff up for the Sisterhood, the last time I had to be on it because they kept coming through and being like, I got some tickets, I got this, I got that. And it's really ugly because people will buy from them thinking that they're part of it.
Right.
We have been cloned so many times on TikTok. It's unbelievable. Like, I'm like, and TikTok won't do nothing. They will do nothing. I've had people report it. I've just said, look, that's not us. That's the best I can give you. It ain't us.
Right. I mean, at some point, I mean, Ken had, oh, it was so horrible. I'm such a bad person. But Ken had somebody create a whole Instagram page about him and literally sent me a message while we were at a market and I was face-to-face talking to him. So I took a picture of Ken flipping the bird and sent it to us. I said, oh my God, you're right here. How are you doing? It was just, it's ridiculous. And I mean, I don't know if it's just they don't do anything or they just can't keep up because there's so many of them. It's probably a little bit of both.
It's crazy on TikTok. Like I had a friend who got really offended on TikTok too, and he was like, "I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna," because he's like in IT, and he's like, "These sons of bitches." Like he was just going off, and I'm like, "If you do anything, please let me know." But they just, it's like it's endless. So you'll see a lot of them say, "Look, I'll never DM you" and stuff, and it's just crazy. Like back in the day, it was hard enough to be a psychic that nobody they were like, "Oh, I don't believe in that woo woo," or "I don't believe in that." Now we've got this place that we can say, okay, we're psychics. Now everybody and their brother wants to scam people, and that does not add to the film at all. You know what I'm saying?
If they spent as much time doing an actual job as they do scamming people out of money, they might actually make some money.
Oh my gosh, I know. And they wouldn't, I don't know. I love being a psychic. I love being a medium. Pat can probably verify, that we love doing this. But I'm going to tell you something. It's taxing. It's taxing because you're there for people at their darkest moments sometimes and their happiest. Don't get me wrong. I'm like right there cheering people on at their happiest moments too. But sometimes they find us because of that. If people really knew what a real psychic went through, they would think, okay, maybe I'll just go get a regular job.
I'm still doing this, relatively new at it. I think, Misty, I started doing my first readings after I met you.
I gotta tell you, I love them though. You do good.
I've had a couple of times where I've literally had to hold myself back because I literally was like, I'm going to hold your hand and I'm going to cry with you because you hurt my feelings right now. And I've had that happen a couple of times, and I had to say, no, don't do it, or you're just going to start crying. You're not going to get anywhere.
Right. Right.
So, it's definitely, I know you think it's more difficult online. I mean, it's more, you don't get the same interaction. Yeah. But it's harder for me in person because I just want to hug everybody and be like,
right.
Yes, I do hug everybody.
And you don't want to repeat it and you don't want to say it, but you have to. I mean, you can't.
I mean, there's sometimes, I'm like, this is going to offend this person if I say it, but then my gut's going, if you don't say it.
Yes.
So, I mean, our little, Shelly said Mimi all in her feels. Our little sister is very bad about, she'll get sick to her stomach if she doesn't say something. Yeah. And she's probably, and I don't know if she's still on here. She'll come on here and talk shit about me in a minute. Out of the three of us, honestly, she's probably the most gifted, I would think, because she has the ability to see things that we can't see.
Right.
And, but I think it scares her. I think that's why she was like, I need to talk to y'all. It scares her, and she presses it down because it scares her, and she's scared that somebody's going to make fun of her and that they're going to say she's crazy and commit her and all that. But she sees people, and there were a couple times she said she would stop on the side of the road, get out of the car at a gas station because somebody's standing there. She's like, I got to go tell them something or I'm going to puke. And I'm like, you can't do that to everybody. You don't know what they're going to come after you with. Stop doing that.
I was like that at first, and now I just don't give a shit. I don't.
I love it. You're like,
I don't care if you like this now.
No.
Well, she's younger. I feel like with age, you finally just like, I don't care if you like me or not. I mean,
like I learned like when I was in corporate and stuff, they do this beautiful thing called a yes sandwich, where you do something really good, then you hit them with the bad, and then you end it off with something good. Yeah. So if I know there's something bad in my reading, and I will say, honey, we're gonna deal with this together, and I'll tell them the greatest things, and then if I know there's something they got to be prepared for, I'll hit them with that in the middle, and then I'll finish it off with something sweet. I'm telling you, and then they're like, okay, I got it, I got what you're saying. But I used to be a lot more brutal in the beginning, and I hate it. Pat's more brutal than I am now, I think.
I'm not brutal. I simply I can't lie when I do a reading. So I always tell people if you want light, and I'm not saying I'm dark. I'm just saying if that's what you want, is to be told that you're tall, dark, dark and handsome is on his way, then you need to choose another reader. I am not that person. And if he's on his way, I will certainly describe him and tell you that he is on his way. It always makes me happy to give good news. But you know what? Life is messy and life is chaos. And And I will tell you that there are people, many, many people that do not want the truth. They just don't want the truth. They'd rather have
That's
a
true.
lie that will not play out than the truth. So I always tell people, if you want if you want an honest reading, come to me. If or Misty, I mean, Misty's sweeter than I am, but we both give honest readings.
I appreciate honest and blunt. I mean,
listen,
I do.
She one time, oh God, I gotta get my heck with that. She called me down one time, and it was the sweetest thing. She was trying to be nice, and she does have a very sweet spot for people. Some people I don't even have a sweet spot for. She was reading this lady. And you know exactly what I'm talking about too, Pat, probably. And we were sitting there and she was just beaming over this new guy she had and da-da-da-da-da. And Pat's like, he's handsome and da-da-da, just talking to her. And she puts the picture over towards me and I said, honey, he's got, and I start naming the kids and Pat goes, stop reading him. And I was like, because she knew so nicely, I say, honey, you watch him. Once when a good woman gets around, other women are going to be attracted. Blah, blah, blah. And I was doing it very tactful. And Pat was like, don't read this one. Because she knew something and she did. She didn't want to bust this woman's bubble. And then, you see it play out on Facebook. But it was very sweet. So Pat does have a very sweet side when she takes somebody to heart. She does, very much so.
And if and I have discernment of the soul. Most of us do, right? That are gifted. And discernment of the soul simply means we know if you're a good person or if you're full of crap. If you're just self-centered and just a narcissist, we know this. I mean, we just do. And so if you are a soul that is in pain, I do take that into consideration in how I deliver the message. But there are people that just need to be told the truth. And, like a wet glove being hit upside their head. I'll give you a quick example. I had this woman come, and she was about my age now, and this is about 10 years ago. And I'm sitting there looking at her, and she wants a reading. And all of a sudden, I hear, it's her mom. And I said, your mother's here. Said, oh my God. And I look at this woman, I said, listen to me, because these are her words. She's saying that you have been involved in 2 marriages. You have wrecked those 2 marriages. I said, you were not a good woman to either one of these men. I said, you have children. I said, you don't talk with those children because you weren't a good mother. And I said, here's what her message is. The clock is ticking for you. And she wants you to make amends and to go and make amends with these people, to talk with your children again, to do these things, because none of us have infinite time, right? That was her mother's message. That's what I'm saying. And I delivered it just like I heard it. Okay.
Right.
And yes, everything I told her was correct. Right. But she didn't need this is, let me tell you, your mother's here. And she's saying, you've got a chance to make. No, I had to tell her that she was about to die and she needed to make things right, because that was the only way that she would hear the message of her mother. Right. So see, I'm not, and Misty's right. As soon as she looked at that picture, I could tell she knew. And I'm like, and I love this woman, because let me tell you, she has actually taken in children that's not her own. That's the level of good person she is, right? And to raise. And one of her friends had passed. I mean, she is another level good person. And so she was just shining, wasn't she, Misty? She was shining with love. And I'm like, oh, Misty, I said, listen, later we talked about, I said, listen, maybe she has 2 or 3 months of happiness, right? Right? So why should we take that away from her? See, it's like being a lawyer. Every case is different, right? And the way that we treat it has to be different too. That's how I feel and approach my readings.
I think also, like, when you're reading and it's a certain type of your life, like Pat will get these questions that are a little bit more different than mine. Sometimes they come to her and just want to know when they're going to die. Like normally people don't ask me those questions, but But I will tell you that.
Ignore me if I ever come to you and say, "Tell me when I'm going to die." No, you don't.
I get the difficult. I get the difficult cases. I do. Yeah. I mean, like if there's, and this is a true story. There were all these psychics. We were someplace. I forget where it was, Misty, but I think it was up at the Exchange Hotel. So a long time ago. So there's all these psychics, but the woman who had been abused, raped, put in a hospital, she came straight to me. Right. That's what I'm saying. I think that my energy draws people who are maybe really broken. I don't know. I do seem to get more of those cases.
I get the cases where I don't know if they just want somebody to ease them, because they tend to come to me like when they're really always with relationship problems. I don't know. At one time I could sniff out a cheater from 10 miles away. I'd be like, that one right there, that one, because they would talk really loud. Their souls would talk. They have a primal, it's almost like a different key that they it's like their energy is giving off this lower vibration. So I could very much so. And then, sometimes I don't know what it is. I get a lot of business questions. I've got to, we get to see the coolest parts of people's lives,
Oh yeah.
But I get people who, I don't know, but I don't know if it's because of my cleansing part too. They just need to take that heaviness off of them. And I think that might be that part, because that's what I mostly do on the road now. Wouldn't you say, Pat? Other than, I don't read as much. I do read, don't get me wrong. I still do readings, but my cleansings are because that's the only time I do them is when I'm in person. I don't do those distant. They can't schedule that with me off of there. So I get the ones that want to take the load off of their soul. That's what And
let me tell you, if you ever watch Misty work when she's cleansing somebody, she does not look like the same person. No, it was the strangest thing to me. I walked around the corner. I was like, who is that? She literally looked different. And it shocked me, but now everybody's gonna be walking by you, staring at you, looking at you.
Don't worry, Amanda's took pictures of me, and I do. Like, there is a seriousness. Like, y'all know me. Everybody knows me if they like how my personality is pretty large, and I'm very talkative and stuff. When I do these, I don't like. I've looked at pictures of me. It is a seriousness that comes over me, and if I talk, it's because I'm writing it down in my book, and I'm just like, it's a different, and I don't know what it is. I don't know. My body goes in a different mode.
Do you have like ancestral help or something? The reason I ask is because you look older when you're working.
Oh God!
And then you stop. I don't mean that in a mean way.
Not in a bad way.
Like,
not in a bad way.
You look older in the face, and then once you stop, you look like Misty again.
I don't know. Like, I try to work a lot with my as we've gone through this. Pat's talked about how we've been doing this for so long. One thing that I've done is tried to make that connection with my spirit guides so strong, because sometimes I believe that's like, if I can't get a direct line to a spirit or something, I rely on them. So I see sometimes when I do those things that very much so that happens, right? And I think that it very much so is. And I'm going to tell you something. I think it has to do with in the mountains. I think it is a lineage for me in my, and also with, Pat and things that she does like that. But it's definitely a lineage. So I think it has something to do with that. One time I saw a picture of me. I looked Native American, girl. I was like, who is this woman? Who is this?
Maybe you're just pulling what you need. I mean,
I think it is. It's just something. It's something from the mountains. I can't. I don't know. I can't deny it because I've seen pictures. Oh.
All right. Let me log off. Guys, I love you guys. Thank you all so much. I'm going to take my little one and leave.
Aww. Thank you so much, honey.
Thank you.
Next weekend. This weekend.
Yes.
She was still worried about her jumping on. I'm like, my house sounded like a 3-ring circus up in here this whole time I've been talking. Dogs barking, cats screeching, my daughter giggling. It's been
girl, I'm in the back corner of my house with headphones on, and my husband's like 2 rooms away, because we live like in an older house, and I'm like, listen, I can hear like an ant fart like 2 rooms away. I'm like, don't you make a sound, I'm gonna cut your throat. No, look, the light bill went off again. I'm telling y'all guys, I hit this bed weird. But yeah, I'm excited about this weekend, ladies, and somebody's birthday. go throw that at the
Right.
birthday.
We have a huge birthday this weekend. We actually celebrating a few birthdays because we got some birthday twins this weekend. So,
darn. I'm excited.
There's going to be cake. There'll be cake.
Oh my God, I love cake.
We're staying the whole weekend. Even though I live only one exit away from the hotel, we're staying in the hotel the whole weekend.
We are going to by the grace of God, we're going to get there because we are getting up. Ashley has to work till like 11:30. So we are getting up at like 3:00 in the morning and we are driving straight through. Yeah, I know. And then
you're going to work?
Then I'm going to work all day. Yeah, work all day, man. I'm telling you.
Coming in on 2 wheels hot.
Right. I am. So if y'all see us come in at 9:45 exactly, we're going to throw that stuff up and be ready to go.
We'll have all your stuff in. I mean, just,
I know.
We'll be ready
excited.
For you. We actually were going to give a pair
yes.
or one. We'll give a pair of weekend passes away for us.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we want to do it.
I don't either. What would y'all like to do? We could do, let's see.
We've picked a number, we've picked a color, we've picked a crystal.
I would say I was going to ask a random question about gallery readings, but let me see. Okay. Did Pat talk about any seances that were really, really popular? I can give a random question. Nobody can Google this, but if they know it, they get 2 tickets. But it's about seances. Would y'all be willing to do that?
I don't know. Hey, peeps.
Yeah.
Hey, peeps.
Let us know.
Let's test your knowledge.
Yeah. I don't know how many people in here have Melissa,
knowledge on seances.
I have never been to one.
Y'all, okay, next time we do this, let's do a seance. Let's do a seance.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
We're trying to now. Y'all are going to be coming in on 2 wheels on Saturday, and we're going to be coming in like this on Saturday because we're trying. We got chaos going on Friday night. Woo, woo.
Oh my goodness.
We'll have to tell you about it later.
Anyway. I am so excited. Listen, I want to hear all the tea offline. I'm telling you. I went on a cruise. I'm not lying. And I came back and I went to my doctor. And this is the honest to God truth. And we got to learn as people who take care of other people to take care of ourselves. That's why I've really been trying to de-stress and stuff. Cause I'm like, I got to be here to take care of my peeps. I got to be here to help people out that need me. So I am trying to be as stress-free as I can. Easy breezy, baby. That's going to be my motto.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Trying to live on island time, y'all. We got to go to a place.
I'm jealous.
Honey, let me tell you what I did. My country ass tried to make a bargain in the Bahamas. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh yes. You might see, if y'all are friends with Amanda, y'all probably saw this post, but I gotta tell y'all something. So Misty goes down in the Bahamas thinking they ain't gonna swindle me. I'm gonna be able to do this. So she sees a YouTube with this guy rents this golf cart for $60. So we're like, we're gonna go down there for $60. And this guy was like, it's $120. I was like, listen, they're trying to hoodoo us, okay? We're going to tell him we only got $100 is the most we're going to give him. So I go back, and Amanda's just like, Ashley's like, just give him the money, okay? I'm like, no, man, they ain't going to get the best of us. I'm in another country. What the hell do I know, y'all, okay? And I literally went over there and I said, listen, man, all we got is $100. That's all we can work with. And this guy tries to give us one. He said, no. We're going to give you this. We'll take you 100. And I'm like, right on. I got $20 off, y'all. I'm like feeling good. I'm thinking I've done some, wheeling and dealings. Tell me why we came off a damn hill and had no damn brakes, y'all. No brakes. We come down and we went flying through a damn 4-way intersection.
Oh my God.
They thought I was lying. So I actually started driving. I said, listen, y'all, there ain't no damn brakes on this son of a bitch. And Amanda's husband said, listen, tell Misty we'll chip in the 20 if they'll give us that $20 break they should have gave us. But my sister tried to drive and she come down that same damn hill. I said, y'all, we ain't got no brakes. And she didn't even know. She had to take it in the sand to even get that damn thing to stop. People were beside us. They were like, keep it going. I mean, we were like, yeah, listen, the story is if you go to the Bahamas, pay the full price or they're going to take your brakes away.
Oh my gosh, my other cat's trying to come through here. What is with
That's
you?
okay. My cats get crazy, honey. They want to be all over the place. But yeah, let's give some tickets away, guys. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think y'all are gonna love that. Y'all got to meet Pat, and y'all haven't got to meet Ashley, and I cannot believe that.
No, we haven't.
Because
she wasn't when we went to Louisville, was she? She wasn't there, was she?
No, she was at the Energy Expo, and then she wasn't for the last couple of years because she works, and then she was working on Saturday, and she really couldn't come all that way. It wouldn't have made sense me coming back on Sunday. So we're glad that she doesn't have to work Saturday this year. So we're just going to bust butt through and stuff. But I think y'all going to like her. Y'all going to love her. Yeah. She is more direct with her readings. Kind of like, I try to be very sweet. I don't want to tell anybody bad stuff. I've been there when people have gave the worst news. You can still give that, but give it in a nice way. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I try to do. Actually, straightforward, just like Pat. They're straightforward. Even though Pat does have a very sweet heart for people who, she wants to protect and stuff. Yeah. But she is very direct with her readings. There is no ifs, ands, or buts.
I'm excited about that.
Yes.
So
all right, so let's get some tickets away.
Okay. Are we going to do the random question?
I can give you a question.
Okay.
You ready? Okay. So a long time ago, when paranormal investigating first started, now this is for my paranormal investigators too, but there is one famous seance that is held every year, and it has to do with a famous. He is not known for being a paranormal investigator, but he was, by the way, because he debunked very well. But there is a famous seance that is held every year to still try to make a connection with this gentleman. And it is renowned. People have been going to him for years trying to make connection with this gentleman. Who is the gentleman they try to make connection with?
I have no idea, so I'm curious to see if anybody knows.
I can't wait to tell you the story because we want to do one ourselves. It's mostly done over in Hollywood way, but I want to bring one to the East Coast.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Nobody knows this.
Nobody said anything yet.
Everybody's Googling right now.
They are. Yeah, they're like, I will give you another clue for this. It is a message for him and his wife. It's a message between him and his wife. That's why they do the seance. Because his words were, hold on. I don't know who Bill Wilkins is, honey, but I bet he's a really nice man. Who said that? That is correct. Ding, 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 ding. Yes.
Damn, you're going to have to give the tickets to somebody.
Yes. Deborah, right there. That is so awesome. Let me tell you something. Houdini is freaking amazing. People knew him as a magician, but Bob. Bob. I love that answer.
I mean, Deb, we can give you 2 weekend passes, but you didn't pay for a booth for the weekend, so I don't know if that's going to do you any good. But if you want me to pass those on to Bridget, I will.
Would you like us to pass your free tickets to Bridget?
Unless you have somebody that you
unless you have somebody
to give them to.
Man, Harry Houdini is amazing. The reason why he got into it is because he was a magician and he could see this stuff that was happening at seances that were not true. So when he passed, he was searching for a true medium, a true psychic that was going to host these things. So when he passed,
all right, he actually, Bridget, you get the passes.
Aw. When he passed, he actually was like, my wife, he had a message that only him and his wife knew, and they still conduct them to this day in Hollywood and stuff. And I want to do one on the East Coast. I want to bring that back here and have a big Houdini seance. I think that Pat has we sat down and we kind of mentioned it with this one gentleman, Flumeria Productions. He does stuff for that, and really, really excited about that. But y'all gotta look up Houdini. He was more than what you thought he was. He was pretty cool. He was kind of like a butt to people in our field, but it's kind of cool to see the progression of it. Yeah. Misty's on the move, man.
I know. I'm like, where are you going?
She's like, no. I don't know what's happening here.
Yes, I know. When I got down the stairs, I just heard it and I went, oh my God.
No, that was mine. That is crazy. But
Missy gets on the move. It's because we're running over and her husband's
I gotcha.
because he works early.
Well, I tell you what, guys, I got to go do a reading too. I kind of pushed her back a little bit. I was like, let me do this and then I'll talk to you. So I'm going to jump off here too. I can't wait till this weekend. It's going to be amazing.
I'm so excited. And yes, we're going to have to plan this whole seance thing because I think it would be cool. And Deb said, you have to do it after hours so the vendors can go. I was like, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. This weekend, I think, just to throw this out there, I think most of the ladies are doing readings and tarot card readings and mediumship readings and all kinds of stuff. I have a new person with me now, or object with me. Now, everybody knows I had that pink table, right? Well, God forbid she went down at one of my events.
Oh yeah, I remember that table going down.
Yeah. So now I have one that I got a new one. I got a new massage table. He is big and black, and I'm calling him Bubba. So I'll still be me and Bubba will be there to do cleansings if y'all want to do cleansings. I'm excited about this. And yeah, I'm super excited. And my table did go down at Waverly, ma'am.
Yeah,
that stopped the whole damn thing.
Hearing it.
Yeah, we heard it.
We thought you went down with it.
It was so weird. Like the whole table just slid down, and I'm standing there like, what the hell? Like nobody was on it. Nothing was happening, and nothing broke on the table. You tell me how that happens. Like there was glass items and everything. Nothing broke.
That was weird.
That was weird. Very weird. But anyway, guys, I'm excited to see y'all. Love y'all bunches. I'm going to jump off here.
Go do your reading. And
yes,
we cannot wait for this weekend to see you.
I know. Bye, y'all. Bye.
All right. So we didn't do any readings tonight, but I had a feeling it was going to go like that because I can listen to those ladies talk.
They can tell some stories.
The stories they tell are amazing. I thought that your picture on your wall had moved, but you were.
No, I moved my chair.
It threw me off because I was looking off the side of my eye. But we're gonna have a great weekend. Those 2 weekend passes are going to Bridget. Thank you, Deb. Since Bridget popped in there right after Deb.
Right, Shelley? I could too.
Right. So, honestly, if you're going this weekend and you haven't gotten tickets for their gallery reading, you should.
And there's limited.
Yep. It's going to be amazing. We've had the pleasure. We got to meet Pat at Waverly when we went to Waverly. Misty was at our event was it the one in August? She was at the one in August, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last one. She was at the last one. So if I could have them here all the time, I would. They're amazing. Their energy is amazing. We love spending time with them. They're great people. So make sure you're coming this weekend. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight and just kind of going. Don't forget that Saturday is from Missy, help me. My brain.
From
Saturday's 10 to 6.
Yes.
Sunday's 11 to 5. Now, the gallery reading, if you want tickets to gallery reading, is for Sunday. If you buy tickets to the gallery reading, you do get into the market for free for that day. So, I kind of want to stick my head in there. But,
we
limited
strongly
space.
Suggest you get your tickets.
Right. We are currently... every time we get together, we come up with new ideas. We had another event that we were going to do this time, but we had some changes that had to be made due to some scheduling conflicts. And I'm so excited that we're getting to do the gallery reading. Are you jumping on stuff over there? What are you doing? Sorry, my cat's being weird. I could have gutter mine. Sorry.
It's okay.
We are constantly changing and adding new things. We have new ideas all the time. We got things that we're working on that we are hoping to be able to bring to you that we think will be amazing. And to be honest, if you're able to do it and bring those ladies to do it, it would be badass is all I can say.
Yes, it would.
We are growing. We want to thank all of y'all. We have had vendors, readers, sharing the shit out of our stuff. We have had random people sharing the shit out of our stuff that are planning on coming to the market. Our website has
blown up,
tripled.
Yes,
in visitor volume in the last month. in the last week, it's gone up even more. The our Facebook and stuff like that, the traffic, and it's not even just the social media traffic. We do have a TikTok page. If you want to check it out, it's at Sacred Journey MKT for Market. We have a YouTube channel that we are actually doing this on this time. We have a YouTube channel, and let's see. Love you, Brooke. See you tomorrow at work. You know, the real job, or as Pat said, my muggle job. We're getting traffic from all kinds of places because we don't just market on social media. So I feel like the hype has been bigger for this one, and I can feel the energy from it. It just feels bigger than life, and I'm so excited about this weekend, and I cannot wait to do it. So make sure you come out. Holiday Inn and Suites, Cincinnati, the Eastgate exit. Easy to get to. We'll have signs up. We'll be out there. Come see us. Come hang out with us. We have a good time. It's $10 to get in for the day, $15 for the weekend. Your kiddos 12 and under get in free. Yes, it is a family-friendly event. Sometimes our lives are not family-friendly because of our mouths, but the event's family-friendly. Deb, you are amazing.
We love you, Deb.
Shelly, you're amazing.
You too.
We love you.
We love.
I mean, we have here. Let me just be like, oh, do my little hearts and stuff like that. But honestly, our vendors and our readings are fucking badass. We love them so much. So we are looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend. It's just as much fun for us as it is for the people that come and shop and get readings and stuff like that, because we just like being around all y'all's asses. Mm-hmm. So
we just like hanging out.
You'll have a great night. Come see us this weekend. It's going to be cold outside. We'll be inside. It'll be warm. Come see us. We love all of y'all. We will not have a live next Wednesday because we're going to need a break. But we will start back with our readings the next week. Okay? We love you guys. See you this weekend, hopefully. Bye.